That's it. Saturday stream. A year and 5 days into CB. Next patch is supposed to be really interesting. There's gonna be a rebalancing of all the weapons, so we'll see how many weapons we have to relearn, what's gonna still feel good and what's gonna be completely different, and we're gonna have to figure out how to play them again. Same thing with abilities, same thing with heavy, same thing with trinkets. Some things are gonna have to be reworked and rebalanced, and we'll see how that works out. Also, they're probably coming with hot fixes and patches. Like, they got rid of the wait period before the game starts, which is really great. It's kind of annoying. If they made it like 5 seconds, it wouldn't be a big deal. If they made it something cool, like you're sitting on like the whole, everybody, like the concept of the battle bus type thing or plane that they do in PUBG and they do in what do you call that thing? Fortnite. But the idea is like you're on a shuttle and everybody's on the shuttle, and while you're on the shuttle, you can actually see the other people's like gear, and you have the chance to tweak your gear or change your loadouts based on like what you see some of the people have. And the idea is you would then teleport when you're over the island. You would all teleport into the what do you call it? The starting location, sort of like the main bases or the main outpost that each team has. So that's one thing you could do. And then the ideas we were thinking about, I was talking with Jawbone yesterday with the tiers. It could be kind of cool if the tiers were based on like how many level 20 items you have, or what ascension level you have, or how much gear you have. Like, you could definitely tier people out based on like full maxed out gear or full bannered gear. So it'd be stuff like that. If you have 2 full banners, or you have 10 is a lot, like 6 level 20 gear, you'd be considered a certain tier versus another tier, right? If you had 2 full banners, that'd be a tier also. So you would be able to get to tiers through either full banners, or you could get them through the levels of the gear that you have, and it can move you around, and then hopefully it would make it a little bit more logical on where you are placed and who you're going up against. Because like veterans wouldn't necessarily face people that are not veterans, and it's the same thing. Like, there's so many things you could use. Ascension levels could be one of them. If ascension levels is not the way you want to work it, you also have loadout arsenal levels. They really should stop making everything AL. But if you're looking at the arsenal level, like if a person needs at least an arsenal level of 500 or 600, like I guess the full arsenal level might be somewhere around 2,000 and something. So you could literally say like 500, 1,000, 1,500, and then above. And then like the people who are over 1,500, like 1501 and stuff like that, you can move them up that way, because it would mean that everybody has a certain amount of gear. The other possibility, if you're not doing it just through arsenal numbers, because it's also based on the gear level, you could also build it on banners too. How many banners have you fully unlocked? There's 9 banners in the game. If you have all 9 banners, you'd still be tier 4, even if your arsenal level wasn't at that number that the other people might be able to move. So there's ways that you could break it up, and I think you're not trying to make the tiers like, oh, you're vainglorious or you're this or that. You're not trying to make 10 different tiers. You're just trying to separate players in a way where the more fair or comparable comps can actually work with each other. So it doesn't feel like, oh, you're the pay to win. Like, the idea, here are ideas of pay to win to me. Imagine you're playing a game and you cannot proceed past a level or beat a certain part of it with without putting money in or buying specific things without money, that's pay to win. If you're telling me that if I'm also playing the game and if I put money into it, I can buy gear that can literally obliterate everyone else, that's also pay to win. Because the idea of saying that any advantage that you get because you lose money, that's pay to win, that doesn't really make sense. Because everybody's always going to have an advantage one way or the other. Let's say I put no money in, but I paid for 7 months, and you're coming in fresh, and you put in, what do you call it, 200 bucks. I have an advantage over you. Even though you're getting a bunch of gear and a bunch of stuff, you're still not going to be able to use everything effectively. And here's the funny thing. If you're putting in a lot of money, getting a lot of gear, and getting a lot of things, it doesn't help you. It makes it harder to get mods. It makes it harder to learn stuff because there's so much gear. You don't know what works well with each other. So that's the same concept. Like if you ever play a game like Vainglory, or if you play a game like Wild Rift, people are like, oh, those are not pay to win because the heroes are different, right? But okay, let's say somebody's already played Leagues of Legends on a computer. And a lot of people who've played the mobile version said like, oh wow, everything you can do on the computer already works. It works. You can actually pull off most of the tricks or the things that you know about the characters. They also work in mobile. So now let's say both of us are coming into Wild Rift Mobile. I don't know tricks and tips on stuff like that, but I've played League. But the other person has really played League. So they decide to put money into it, and they're able to get more characters and get the characters that they really know. Like game characters that they have like 90% win rates with. So isn't Leagues of Legends pay to win too? Like, that's the point. He has an advantage, a really big one. He can pay a character that he knows so well that he's guaranteed to most likely win. Isn't that pay to win then? So that's the funny part about it. Accelerating to get more gear does not make you stronger in this game. More gear doesn't make you stronger. Because let's say you have everything in the game. Do you know their range? Do you know their counters? Do you know what works well against them? Do you know what works well with them? Do you know what mods would be the best to have for them? Do you know what banners that you can basically put 2 banners with and 2 banners with to get something really good? No, you don't know any of that. You have no clue. So all these pay to win guys they keep talking about, the only thing I've put into this game is time. And the fact that if you can put in time into the game and you can still play well and you can still do well, that's the difference. Pay to win would mean is the guys who put money in would automatically be better than everybody else who started playing. And the ascension levels. So here's the funny one too that you look at this game. It has 120 ascension levels, right? I'm gonna go all the way to the beginning. From ascension level 1 to 2 and 1 to 25. And the reason I chose 25 is by 25 you have 4 primals. 4 of them to choose from. My son was able to get to level 25 in 3 days, playing only 2 hours every day. 6 hours. So let's say a guy decided to drop $100 in the game and he gets a bunch of stuff, picks up a bunch of levels. You can catch up with him in 3 days. Let's say he got to 25 as soon as he put the money in. You can catch up to him in 3 days. Or if you spend 1 day and play 6 hours, you'll also reach level 25. I know one guy who came in when the Ascension levels was in. The dude started from scratch. He played 1 day and he was level 35. You know what he put in? He put in time. It wasn't money, it was just time. So that's what I'm saying. This game is not like, even I've been looking at the Ascent. I've been even looking at the infusions. The infusions are not game breaking. The infusions that were game breaking were actually toned down this patch. They were toned down a lot. So that's what I keep trying to say. Because I've played massive online role-playing games. I played DC Universe Online. The way DC Universe Online worked was there was a lot of player versus environment things to do. There was stories in there. Because there was so much PvE in the game, it didn't really matter every once in a while when you met some jerk who put a bunch of money in, has a super strong character who comes in and just kills you in a PvP or player versus player area. It didn't feel that bad. Most of the game is player versus environment. And you go in as groups to do stuff. Every once in a while you get stuck somewhere and you couldn't finish it. You just tried this one freaking mission 7 times. And some dude who put a bunch of money in comes in and helps you finish it on the 8th time. So it doesn't matter. When you have PvE mixed in with a game like this, PvE is so damn fun. And you would be able to try stuff and play with friends. It really wouldn't matter in the greater scheme of things. And it does not. So far, being not able to put money in it, getting a lot of gear is nice. But if you don't know how to use it and you don't know how to play and you don't know how to build, you don't know what the counters are, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't. And the way the game works, the first 25 levels can be gotten in 6 hours of play. The first 25, which gives you 4 primals. Sunder, Isia, Torden, and Janks. And you don't have to put a dime in. So that's what I'm saying. When people are like, oh, it's pay to win. The only people who can say that is if you're playing the game and you still think the game is pay to win, that means I don't know if you play much. And I don't know if you enjoy the game. And I don't know if you are getting any better. Because I literally can start with things at level 6 because I always dust them up because they're all under 1,000. It's like you can dust up to 6 levels right away. And you start playing those things all the way through to level 20. And I play them all the way through, sometimes with mod lists, so on and so forth. And there are weapons here that are so good and combinations that you make that work so well that even with a mod or without a mod, it's super easy to basically level those weapons up. Again, you can say, let's be real, it's pay to win, but here's the question. You put in a bunch of cash in. Do you think you just basically got better in the game? I'm telling you, it doesn't change a damn thing. It's not the truth hurts. I played it for a freaking year. I literally came in with people who got in before me for 2 weeks. It took me about 3 weeks to get comparable and comfortable with gear to be able to play. Because the idea of pay to win would mean is when you put money in, you are superior and you dominate. You will not dominate with money. You won't. That's the thing. So if I play a game 5 months and you come in and you put in money in and you can't basically beat me because I paid for 5 months, is that pay to win? I don't understand. Like, isn't pay to win supposed to be if I put money in, I automatically start winning? If I'm not winning, then what's the point? So if I have more time in the game and I still can beat you and you put money in and you can't beat me, how the hell are you paying to win? You're still losing. But that's the freaking point. All it does is pay to it reduces grinding. It just reduces grinding. It literally gives you gear faster. The only thing that changes is the time that you take to get gear. That's it. It didn't make you play better. It doesn't give you better gear. It doesn't give you stuff that makes you super strong. It doesn't. Like, this one person actually came to us and said, it's pay to win. Look, I got everything Lumia Easier. I got it all for free. But watch, I'm going to play it and you guys can't beat me. We shut them down super easy. Because you know what's funny? There's ways to beat Wing Sweep with the environment. And if you're in the right position, Wing Sweep is useless. It's not about his money or the gear he got. It's about my knowledge about how to beat everything he's using. There is no game that no one doesn't have an advantage who's played it longer. There is no game that exists that way. So to me, I've played pay-to-win games where Marvel Contest of Champions, without money to buy loot in crate, you can't get gear that's good enough while playing free-to-play without putting any money in to fight certain people who are at the same level as you. You can't beat any of them at all because your gear is not strong enough, and the only way you can get that gear is through money. That's pay to win. That's how it works. If I can grind and get the same damn gear, it takes a little longer, then it's not pay to win. It's pay to, it's basically, again, pay to accelerate. The Contest of Champions, that new game that came out, I cannot proceed without money. And I'm telling you, in this game, you can proceed without money. How do I know? I played it for a fucking year. That's my point. That's why I don't understand why y'all say it's any advantage. Then fucking every game you play is pay to win. Every game. There is no game you can play that does not give you an advantage with, that gives you any kind of advantage with money, and you guys claim it's pay to win. So fucking Leagues of Legends Wild Rift is pay to win too. If I can accelerate the time I can get heroes than you, then it's fucking pay to win. If I can get exclusive heroes that you can't get, if you have to wait 3 fucking weeks to get them, then it's pay to win. VG was pay to win too. It was. Because it wasn't all cosmetics. If I can play a hero for 3 weeks and you can't play it at all unless you put money in, how the hell is that not pay to win? That's my fucking point. That's why I keep finding any advantage is pay to win makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense. Pay to win is literally, if I don't put money in, I can't win at all. That's pay to fucking win. That's the shit that I don't get. Because the any advantage concept is stupid. It's just dumb. Because everybody will always have an advantage in any freaking game. Specifically if they start playing before you do. Always. And forever. The only way it's pay to win is when you put money in before I started playing before you, it nullifies that. And your gear is so much better, there's nothing I can do to stop you to win. That's pay to win. It's very freaking specific. And that's the thing I don't understand why y'all keep dropping the argument. It sounds like it's like dumb. Any advantage makes it pay to win. No, it's not. End of stream. Later.